Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do some stitching on the log cabins. It used to be squares, but I salvaged it to a circle, a whole bunch of circles. Like this, I'm going to turn them into a coaster, which I already did a few. I will show all of them at the end once I finish it, but it's such a long process. It takes almost, up to now it's almost a month. I'm still working on it, so but at the same time I'm not in a hurry to finish it, because once you're trying to do that as far as possible, then you won't able to enjoy that, and then at the end you won't like the stuff. And I learned that lesson many times, and I'm not going to hurry that. So in between finishing and starting, I still want to show you some process, and I also like to check a little bit, not particularly chatting to anyone. I think I'm more like chatting to myself. I still updating video from Monday to Friday, but some of them I made a while ago. So the truth is, for a week or so I haven't I haven't made any new video, because one, life is so busy. Since my husband back to China, take care of his sick dad, and then work has a bit of problem. We have a new team leaders, and it's turned out a bit disaster. I work in the company for more than 10 years. I think I'm close to, let's say, 14 years, I guess. And I kind of like proud of myself that I can always do my work without anyone pushing me, and I can do it very quick and in a very good quality. So I'm kind of like working in my bubble, that I know what I'm doing, and I'm happy of what I'm doing, and I can manage my time to finish everything at the end of the week. But since the new team leader started, things change. I can't say it's all bad, but I think it's driving everyone crazy, because we have 2 day work from home, and she wants us to message her when we log on and when we log off. It feels like we all of our team are people working for a long time, and this make us feel like, oh, you treating us like a child, and there's no even a trust. And then it happens when I submit my annual leave and got rejected because someone else has taken 2 months unpaid leave without letting any other people know. So I'm a bit pissed off, but that's fine. I'm not fighting with that. And so I changed the time to another school holiday plus puppy holiday. It's just 4 days. 4 days and plus one puppy holiday makes a week. And I'm going, it's a springtime, I'm going to bring my daughter to Canberra, which she never been to. I think that's a perfect time. And also, you know, school holiday, if I don't go anywhere, I still need to, you know, have someone to look after her, and my husband couldn't take any days off. So I think, wow, that's a good idea that I can, you know, take her to Canberra for a week's trip. since July is not possible, then I changed to September, and there's no one taking any leave during that time. But the team leader say, wow, you taking all the time, all the golden time with school holiday and public holiday. I'm like, I asked people around and they're okay with that. I didn't overlap with anyone's intentions of taking a holiday. And then she said, well, you probably asked the people with children. Maybe those people without children, they want to have that. And I thought, are you talking about that guy's taking 2 whole months for holiday? And if that is, wow, why I have to consider him, you know? And she just keep on and on, this is not fair. Have to be fair. And you're taking all the good days. I'm like, oh, it's just too much. It's not, if you don't approve my annual leave, that's fine. I just follow the instruction of company, like putting leave as early as possible, because the company is pushing people to use up their annual leave. You don't want me to, not taking the leave, so I put the leave. I put the leave for September this year, and you tell me that it's too early and it's taking other people's chance. You can deny that, that's no problem, and I will consider another time. But you telling me that I'm doing the wrong thing. So yeah, it's very, very tough. And when we are working from home, then she want to know every movement that you have. If you accidentally go for tea or lunch and you offline for a longer time, well, that's a trouble. And she doesn't believe that you're actually working. It's just very, very hard. Yeah, I understand. I've been working for a long time. I understand workplace is sometimes like a politics. Sometimes like, some people like to be a parent to other people, being, oh, you need to listen to me. Oh, you need to let me know what happened. Tell me. Something like that. That's fine. I understand that, but I don't feel there's respect for people who work there for many, many years, even longer than that person. Anyway, so I'm not whinging, or maybe a little bit, but this is my channel. I like to whinge. It's fine. Anyway, I'm a bit very upset, and also I'm very tired, looking after my daughter all by myself, without my husband here, and there's so many housework to do. At night time I have to tutoring my daughter's kind of like homework. She like to learn, especially the numbers. I have to read books with her, and then once she get to sleep at 8:30ish, then I have to go downstairs to feed the cat. By the time I finish everything, it's 9 o'clock, and I really want to sleep not later than 10:30. My brains cannot functions really well with all sort of upsetting things happening. So I'm working on pretty much only work on this coaster. I can't think of anything that more complicated. I just either straight stage or a little bit variation of running stage, then that's it. I really need this simple stitching going until my emotion became a bit of normal. Yeah. And what is more upsetting is I realize I just don't like this work anymore. I think of finding another job, but if I have to find the same sort of jobs in within the same industry, I feel sick of it. I'm sick of working in this industry. But to be honest, it's very hard to do something else with many years of experience related to the things that I'm working. I do love interact with people that need help. I, I think of like I may work in nursing home or like a supportive roles of community activity, something related to children. But all this work, social worker, that kind of stuff, it's hard to find a full-time job. Usually it's part-time. There's legitimate consideration because if people working part-time, the institutions are more flexible. So if one person come and say, oh, I can't work, and then they can call anyone is casual or part-time. It's more flexible. You don't need to pay a full-time worker. But because I have home mortgage, I just couldn't say that, oh, I don't like work and I don't work anymore. And I'm not that naive to expect that I can earn anything or anything sufficient enough from my craft. I know a lot of people makes money from craft, but to be honest, one, I'm not particularly good at selling. Two is I'm more enjoying making and probably teaching. And I just don't think doing craft can bring in the income enough for the family. So even I don't like the situation I'm in, I still have to do it. But I need to think of something that kind of like protect myself, cover myself, without compromise my work quality and my life quality. And I really don't want anything to upset me, even it's upsetting. And I don't want to bring any negative emotions to my family. So I really hold this thing. Even I cry in the car. I'm crying for a long time, actually. Excuse me for my weakness. I'm crying because I did feel very upset. I just can't control myself. So I cry and cry when I'm driving all the way home. But I have to dry my eyes before I enter into the door of the house. Of course, I won't tell my mom and dad. No way, they can't help. I can't say, hey, parents, I'm sick of working, but I don't have enough money. And do you have some? I can't do that, right? So I didn't say anything to my parents, and I just loosely complained a few words to my husband far away in China, because he is in China. He can't even give me a hug. So what's the point of telling him? I did talking something like, what if mommy don't work? To my daughter. And somehow my daughter say, well, I think I can go to school, you should go to work, and daddy should stay at home. I'm like, why? Why? Ah, gosh. But I need the break. I need the break because I feel I'm a bit burnout during all these years. You know, since I graduate from university, well, let's say like that. Since the day I go to school, from, year one, I never stop doing productive thing. I'm either studying or working. And straight after university, I complete a bachelor degree in China. I study overseas in Australia for 2 years for master degree, and then straight after graduation, no gap year, not anything, I work. I work since the day I graduate till now, so non-stop. I never feel that joy of like doing nothing. That's a bit of sad, isn't it? Think about our Chinese people always working, starting, never stop. Always trying to be, better, successful, bringing more money, getting better jobs. And what's the point? I can't help thinking, what's the point? Nothing means anything on the day that you leave the company or leave the place that you've been serving for a long time. And you will realize those people at work, they may check with you quite happily, but they're not your friend. And you don't treat them as friend. There's always a boundary. And you are just not that important. There's no one that can live without. And thinking about all the best time in daylight that you have to spend working in front of the computer in the office that with no open air flow, with artificial line and closed window, and with all this chit chat, small talk that you don't even mean to say. I just don't find it means anything. And being at work, you constantly have to achieve some sort of KPI. There's always KPI measuring your performance, your achievement. And you are just not person. You are kind of like machine or some tool for money making. And after working that many years, I realized work, your personal achievement is not important. I used to work super hard 7 days a week from 7 to 3. I wake up at 5 o'clock to go to the company, and I did try really hard to get more profit to the company, down to every cent. But there's something that out of my control. Economy is not good. The company doesn't generate as much profit as before. This is out of my control. But when the company profit is not meeting, the expectations, no matter how hard you work, you don't get bonus, you don't get pay rise. They will give you a reason that, because the company didn't achieve the budgets, and that's why everyone don't have a pay rise or bonus. So I thought, what's the point of working so hard? What's the point of, driving myself to, achieve better than other people? And what did I earn? So once I realized that I don't push myself to work like crazy, I start to find more life-work balance. That's why I want to have a holiday here and there. But in saying that, I didn't take like a long time. I only take those days here and there, or in January when the business is quiet, and occasionally during the school holiday, because I have to looking after my daughter. She's only 5 years, so I can't even leave her at home. And even when taking a leave became so hard, and I feel, what's the point? What's the point of working? You work hard and play hard, and there's no play hard. No one want you to play hard. Yeah, so that's drawing me a bit crazy, and I'm very, very upset. I thought I shouldn't say this thing in my channel. Is it better that I keep very positive? But I'm not that kind of person. I can't even, face the camera and try to be cheerful, like doing things like, oh, look at this. Look at what we are making. How stinkily adorable. Or something like, isn't it cute? I will show you how to make it. And I shouldn't talk like that. It's just not me. I can't be that cheerleader face. I am poker face. I think that's a reason that I'm a bit of, I haven't recorded for a whole week until now. And I recently not shut down, but I uninstalled Instagram and Pinterest from my mobile phone. One, that I don't think these apps serve my purpose anymore. They became more like an something that pleasing the eyes, and don't care whether it's practical or not, and people just get inspiration without respect who make what. For example, IG, I used to be quite like people sharing all the beautiful things during everyday life, but now it's became a thing that self-promotes, and when you click in it, either they are doing business or attempting to do business. I'm nothing against business, but it's just there's things that you can tell that they're doing to attract more business, and that's not necessarily a good thing. For example, they make so-called zero waste clothes, something like a rectangle with a hole in the neck. I don't know whether you tried that, but I did try making that. They won't tell you the problem they have while they're making it, they will show you how cool it is, you know so such an easy pattern, no pattern, I would say, no pattern at all. You just put it on yourself with a few tire, and that's it. So easy. Then it makes you feel like you can do it even when you close your eyes. But if you ever did that, you will know those zero waste pattern are just rubbish. It's not comfortable, because I used to think it worked, because I'm very into zero waste, and I really want to be zero waste. But I did try that, but it turned out, how to say, it's just not comfortable. When you wear on yourself, you feel, the front part is getting pulled to your back, and somehow your tummy is showing while your bed is not, just not comfortable. If you look at, the traditional clothes pattern, you will notice the front piece and the back piece are different shapes and different size, different measurement. That's because our body is not a rectangle. It's not like Lego. We have, and women's and men are different, and we have, bigger chests, and some people, for example, men, they have, bigger back, something like that. It's I'm trying to get this through to the eye. So if you make from just a rectangle, it won't fit to your body. I wish it fits, because I make a few from that concept, but it's not. So I go back to the traditional sewing. I cut, from back piece, but no one tell you in Instagram. In 50 or 20-second video, they will only show you the best parts, the beautiful part, and how easy, how comfortable, how beautiful it is. But it's not practical until you try this. So I think this is waste of time. Even look at it, I just don't feel it worth looking at it, because I know a lot of things just make it for the sake of, attracting more attentions, or something, some idea to, maintain the business. And there's still a lot of great idea, but I also don't want to rely on looking at social media to get inspirations. Sometimes you get great inspirations. Don't get me wrong, I didn't say all my doing is original, that out of nowhere, but only from my hands. No, we get a lot of influence, but I slowly get the idea what I'm good at, what I'm not, and by doing a lot of things, I know what is practical, what is work, what is not. So I don't need to look at other people's making to get more confident. And things like Pinterest is a bit tricky to say that. Pinterest, it used to be a great place for people to get some idea, but I find now there's a lot of people, they just took a photo either from Facebook groups, or from various sources, IG, YouTube, just internet, someone else blog, or just take a picture. A lot of people taking this picture without mentioning the original creator. So I give you an example. There's a person called Maggie. She's very good at embroideries, a heart on linen denim clothes or denim fabrics. It's beautiful hearts. She share in numbers of slow stitching and upcycling sewing groups. I'm one of the moderator in one of the group that she joined. And it getting virals every time she posts. People love her stuff. She have no intention to sell. She just sharing her beautiful work. But because people like it, they share it. They learn from it. I can't say copy. Learn from it. Get some inspiration from it. But as times went by, this thing is getting spread and spread out, and no one knows the original maker. No one knows it's from Maggie. That's a bit sad. I'm not saying that, you know, we shouldn't share the idea. I don't think she will mind sharing the idea, but we should give a bit of respect of people who make it. It's not just a pictures. It's not just an idea. It's someone else's work, which took many years to become. And there's also people in Facebook and also in Pinterest that pretend to be the person. I think that is the worst case. It is really bad. A lot of people do it innocently, but there's some people doing purposely. So I feel it's not safe to just posting pictures, because picture is so easy to copy and share and to credit, because you don't put a watermark, or even you put a watermark on your photo, they can erase it. With AI as advanced as that, it's just so easy. Another reason I do YouTube is because you know, copying video is a bit hard, isn't it? Yeah, I know there's some I can achieve that, but it is a lot more hard than copying AIing a photo. So yeah, I stopped using Instagram, Pinterest. I also stopped sharing in Facebook groups. I do support the groups that I like. I still working like a moderator to one of the upcycling sewing groups, and I also love to read so many posts in various of craft, journal groups and sewing groups, zero waste groups, but I don't post anymore. And I almost stopped updating my Facebook page. At the beginning, I thought, oh, that's an idea that I can, open a couple of social medias that I can update everything at the same time. But I don't know whether you realize Facebook kind of like discourage you to share anything externally, the external link, especially YouTube. So there's a lot of rules that prevent you to sharing YouTube. So I think it's just no point to share video in Facebook. Also, when you're sharing things in Facebook groups and even your page, there's a lot of restrictions, copyright, not just copyright of the music and photo, but a lot of things, even a brand name. And there's rules of not showing children, which I agree, because I don't like to show my child as well. But even you block everything, just left the children's, part of the clothes. It's still not work, and that's a bit, yeah. And there's words that you can't use because it's a bit like religiously sensitive, something like gypsy, dream, something of dream catchers, even Halloween. So yeah, there's so many rules in this world that you can't do this, you can't do that. And you know what? Always the big one is your boss. Facebook is your boss, YouTube is your boss in your company is your boss. So what can you do? You can't really fight with all these boss. You could learn to be a little bit smarter, cover yourself, you know, you play by the rule, but not harming yourself, not giving in to your style. Yeah, so being a social human being is a bit of funny. It's not as simple as just, you know, living, you know, surviving. It's more complicated because you're constantly, you know, testing the rules, restrict by the rules, and modify the rules, and you know, be upset by the rules. Yeah. So I'm a bit looking forward to the days that I don't need to go to work. There's some people that all their life meaning is work. I respect that. I feel that it's quite amazing that people have such a high moral responsibility to continue their works and being productive human being. But I'm very lazy, I have to say. I don't want to work till the day that I die. So how many years do I plan to retire? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. It depends on when I can pay off the mortgage. If I don't have a child, I guess at 40 now, then I can be financial freedom. Then I don't need to work. But because I have my child, things happening, having a bigger house, you know, a lot of childcare things, this and that, it did increase the family expense. So I'm not blaming my daughter, don't get me wrong. It just things change, so I have to embrace it. So I guess another 5, 6, 7 years that I might see the hope. And I really, really don't miss work. I have so many things to do. Not just sewing, journaling, but I also want to pick up my painting and drawing. And I also want to spend more time patiently with my daughter. I teach her something that I know that is valuable. For example, my knowledge of, you know, botanic thing, flowers, trees, then my knowledge of nature, and I want to walk many places with my daughter. And because I read so many books, I love to read books with her, and I think I'm a great storyteller. Yeah, there's so many things that I learned I'm good at and I really want to do. Somehow my daughter find the things in my just notebooks, randomly doodling. She find this. I already forgot that I doodling this. I don't know when, but I make this. See, I doodling all this silly thing, and she find it in my book, and then she enjoying looking at it, and she immediately know that this is my intention of sewing things that I want to put in my sewing, but not yet. And she even say things like, "Is this me?" And I say, "Yes, it is you. This is, my daughter is the first thing I draw, and then I draw other things, and it somehow just remind me of the joy of just doing silly things. You know, look at the things my daughter's drawing. It's also doodling, but it is so much fun. She will never thought of, oh, I need to be productive. I need to, you know, make something useful, and I need to be proof that I'm successful. There's no children will think about things like that, but they are the happiest person in this world. I feel that's once we get to the adulthood, the fun is gone. Well, I mean, freedom is good. The freedom of living the way you are and having money all by yourself is great. But there's a lot of things that we couldn't do in the name of like being productive and working. All of us have working life, and there's a bit of sacrifice of other things. So yes, I do looking forward to the days that I don't need to work, but I want myself sufficiently covered. I don't want to, have to earn a lot of money from my craft. Of course, if I can cover my cost, that's fine, but I'm not particularly want to earn a lot from it. I also don't want myself to track in a situation that I suddenly find out that I need some money, I ran out of money. Because I have an elder parents, they're both 70-ish, and I expect there's a time that I might need to take care of them full time, so I need to cover the cost if that happens. Because if I take care of them, then I don't have any income. I might be very negative. Can I say negative? I'm not saying that I hope my parents have to rely on me or one day they're sick, but they do have that day. Every parent, include myself, will have the day. I don't like this line, so I'm gonna take that out. So everyone have the day that became so old, then you can't take care of yourself. And so by that time, then there are decisions that whether you should send your parents to a nursing home, because if you work, you have to send them to nursing home, right? Because who will look after them? But in Chinese cultures, we don't send our parents to nursing home unless it have to, until the time that you just couldn't do it anymore. I didn't say nursing home is not good. It just it is something that is the last choice. No one really enjoy in nursing home. Even there's people take care of you, providing foods, take care of your bed, take you out for some game or excursion. You lose the freedom of making choice and moving around. my old neighbor, he is he's an Aussie, and since they getting old, he and his wife bought a small townhouse in nursing home. Hope that they can self, dependent until that they can't. But the old lady, I call them my grandparents because they I love them. And they are my best friend. We have a very good relationship until even now that I go to nursing home to visit so-called my grandpa. The old lady is died. Yeah, is dead. It passed away. Before she passed away, they tried to self-manage, but she have like dementia, so she can't take care. I mean, the husband can't take care of his wife because he is getting old as well. So she have to they have to make a decision to send her to the full care. Since the day that she transferred into full care, she never went out. First, she stayed there, being looked after by people like full-time, 24/7. And then she deteriorates, and then she transferred in the hospital, and from the hospital she passed away. We visit her 2 days before she passed away. Even with dementia, she still can remember us. Chinese people are not very good at kiss and hug and things that showing affections. But I kissed the old lady. I kissed her, and she pets my face, and she still remember me, and she had that happy look that I just can't remember. I can't forget. She is happy that we are there. She is happy that she see us at the last moment. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit emotional. My own grandparents passed away in China in COVID time. That's the worst day. In China they block everything. So when my grandparents became ill, they were transferred to the hospital, but none of the family member are allowed to visit them. They're so sad in the hospital. My granddad, he say, why all my children don't come to visit me? Where is my wife? Because they are in the same hospital but in different ward, different bed. So yeah, for 2 months, no one allowed to visit anyone in the hospital. And finally, I don't know whether it's because of lack of care or what, but at the end, my grandma died, and then a week after, my granddad died. I look at their photo. They're so fins, like they're like a skeleton. There's not even a piece of muscle on their body. Maybe it is like that when people getting old and close to the end. But I also know that when they are in nursing home or in the hospital, they are not well fit. The food is terrible. And you don't even know whether anyone feeding them in the situation of COVID. So they pass away and their body in the hospital, but no one allowed to take their body. No one allowed to see their face. So their body been there, I don't know, a week or so. My uncle have to get a special permissions to organize the things afterward. But that's with special permission. So my mom never see them until their ashes was placed in the place that they plan. Yeah, so the whole things, all these life and deaths make me confused. Like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of working so hard? Like, what our life should be? Are we all like that when we're approaching the end? How can I deal with the sadness and the regret that if my parents pass away? I constantly hating myself that I'm not patient enough, especially to my mom. Sometimes she will talk about the things from the past again, and I'm not patient because I thought that I'm tired, I don't want to listen to you, and then you talk about this for 1,000 times. Then my mom's face became a bit sad, you know. She talked about that not just for talking, but it became something like a piece of her. When I have the things, the unhappy things in my workplace and things that get me upset, I try not to talk about it now because I think that not worth talking. But I know it will become part of my memory, and when I'm getting old, I may I may lose control, and I will talk about it again and again to everyone or to my daughters until she's sick of me. That's because it's part of my life, it's part of my story. So it's same that my parents will talk about the same thing again and again. That's because that's important to them. It's their part of story. That's their life. And because I'm always like upset and stressful, I don't have the patience to listen to her. I would say, oh, I have to work. Give me a piece of peace, like a piece of quiet time. Or I have to have a conference call, and I don't want to talk to you now. And don't talk to me in next hour, something like that. And I hate it. I hate that I did that. I hate that I hate that I couldn't slow down and and even spend some meaningless time just listening to my parents. So I feel more like every day there's some part of life that I don't want to live, but I just couldn't control myself. I couldn't control um, that I'm being angry sometimes, being some anxious, and then I would start blaming others, like my husband. Oh, you didn't do your housework. You let the rubbish to me. Yeah, you didn't take care of your daughter, so now I have to do that. I know it's not right. I know it's all because I'm stressful. But somehow I just couldn't hold myself saying mean things like that. And I hate it. I hate myself. And I don't want to hate myself. I don't. I think I should be the person who loved myself. I should be the person who proud of myself. So yeah, there's something wrong that I try to figure out how I could adjust it. How could I have a bit of like be good to myself and good to people around me, especially good to my family. So doing this helps, so I'm a bit like I don't care whether anyone's seeing my videos, listen to my bullshit. I kind of like need this to help myself. Not that every time I talk like this, I'm not that crazy. It's just from time to time I find that when I expressing something, for example, when I write down things in the diary, or I doodling something, or I'm talking to myself when I'm stitching or when I'm driving, or even just a good cry. It helps save me from sinking to the darkness, to the bitter mode. And I've yeah, and I find it really helps. So if you know my recent journaling, I can't say I stopped, but I didn't keep making beautiful journal, but I take some time to making less beautiful journal for myself to write on. I find that if you make a little bit, I can't say ugly, but less beautiful thing, then you will dare to write on it. If it's too beautiful, your mind will think, oh, I better not write on it, and it's destroy the page. But if less beautiful, then your mind will say, ah, it doesn't matter, it's just rubbish, it's just a packaging, it's just a piece of random paper, and the whole journal is not beautiful anyway, so let's write something on it. It's not big deal if you make it ugly. So I start journaling like a diary, not every day, but on a day that I upset or happy or have a bit of emotion, I write on it, and it helps. Because I don't want to talk to my family, I talk to my journal. So I think, yeah, journaling helps. And I also find out playing with my daughter helps, because she doesn't understand, grown up has so many emotions. She will just laugh and make silly things and just make you laugh. And when you look at the kids and you feel that, wow, that's happiness, that's the things that I miss. And just have a good laugh. And even they cry, they cry, and then next minute they forget about it. So I should learn this from my daughter. I cry and then I forgot, and I forgive. I forgive the people who upsetting me. I forgive myself that showing the weakness. Yeah, so that's it for today, and I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that whoever listened to my chit chat, whoever be patient enough to hear me out. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. And the next video, I promise I will show you all of this beautiful coaster I make. Bye.